Hola, soy el Señor Shepherd. In this video, I'll talk about our final conversation, which will take place in week 16. All the information that you need for the final conversation is found in the week 16 module in Canvas. And let's start with how to sign up for the final conversation of the Canvas calendar. First off, the final conversation will be completed with a classmate. You'll sign up for a time slot for your conversation on the dates given by your instructor, and for us that's going to be in Wednesday of week 16 from 10 to 10:50, that's May 4th, and also on Thursday of week 16 from 10 to 10:50 and 2 to 2:50, and that's May 5th. Now, if these time slots don't work, be sure to contact me as soon as possible. That's very important. To sign up, you're going to click on Calendar on the left-hand side of the screen. Okay, and then you'll click on your particular calendar. There's different available, so I have that on our calendar already right there. And you'll see the time slots come up. You'll choose the one that works for you. Remember, you're signing up in partners here, so it may be the first one for a time slot, but the idea is to sign up with somebody if there is somebody available. And the Zoom link to be able to complete the final conversation for the meeting is actually in the spot where you sign up there, and I'm also going to send that out as an announcement. Okay, let's jump back to our information. Okay, so that's how we'll sign up. Please let me know if you have any issues signing up. Let's look at what to do before and during the final conversation. So the goal for this conversation is to effectively communicate real-world information using the grammar and vocabulary that we've learned in this course. You'll need to prepare for all 4 topics. You don't know which of the 4 you'll be assigned, and I'll do that randomly. I'll have 4 cards, and I'll hold them up, and one of the classmates, one of these students, will choose the card, and I'll turn it over, and that'll be the topic. Get familiar with the grading rubric so you know what I'm looking for, and that is posted in the week 16 module in Canvas along with everything else. Practice with your partner, practice with other classmates, friends, family. Be sure to practice out loud every day. That's very important. And also take advantage of available departmental tutoring. On the day of the conversation, be ready at your scheduled time and open the Zoom link that I provided in the sign-up slot and also in the announcements. You will arrive at a waiting space and you'll see a please wait message. So you'll follow the directions to open the webcam and allow access to your microphone. And then I'll admit you the conversation when ready. So just hang out if it's not right away, because I'll try to keep things as close to schedule as possible. Now, as I mentioned, the topic will be randomly chosen. You'll be expected to be prepared with it to answer in Spanish. The conversation will last 3 to 4 minutes, and I'll talk more about that in just a moment. I will record this for grading purposes, and usage of notes will not be allowed, but what I will have is I'll have a copy of the topics, and I'll put those in the chat in Zoom, so you'll be able to see those as you're going through, but I won't allow any notes because it could be a script. I'd have no way of knowing. Okay, let's take a look at the topics. Whichever topic you talk about, you're going to want to first greet your partner with a informal form. Okay, it's just something like, hola, ¿cómo estás? And then you might say, bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Then you might say something, bien, gracias. And then you could get into the topic, covering any related topics you wish to discuss. So anything within the parameter of that topic is just fine to discuss. You'll need to end the conversation within a specified time frame. So it's a 3 to 4 minute conversation. So what I always tell students is when you get to the 3-minute mark, you don't need to finish the conversation right at that moment. But leading up to the 4-minute mark, you should be looking for a logical end of the conversation, at which point I usually say you can say something like, gracias por hablar, adios. Thanks for talking, goodbye. And that's just a real simple way to end the conversation. There's many ways to do that, but that's a simple way you could approach it. Okay, chapter 1. Take turns with your classmate to describe yourselves, asking and answering questions to find out more about each other. So what we're looking for here is a physical description of your personality using adjectives found in chapter 1 and also in other chapters since we're now later on in the course. And you could ask your classmate, ¿Cómo eres tú? What do you like? And they could answer, bueno, soy alto y delgado, soy amable e inteligente. ¿Y tú? ¿Cómo eres tú? And you, what do you like? And then you could give your description. So that would be one way of approaching that. Second part is discuss your class schedule, stating on what days and times of the week you have classes. And to set that up, you might ask your partner, ¿Cuándo tienes clases? When do you have classes? Yo tengo clases los lunes, miércoles y viernes a las 11 de la mañana y a la 1 de la tarde. Mis clases son de español. Okay? ¿Y tú cuándo tienes clases? So that might be one way of taking turns with those questions, with that information. Finally, state some of your likes and dislikes. Ask your classmate to compare if he or she likes or dislikes. So one way to do that, for example, I like coffee. I might say, me gusta el café. ¿Y tú? ¿Te gusta el café? Another way might be to say, ¿qué te gusta? Or maybe to narrow it down a little bit, ¿qué te gusta de UNT? What do you like about UNT? Okay, let's move on to Chapter 2. Take turns with your classmate to describe the classes you're taking this semester and ask and answer questions to find out more information about each other's classes. Include information such as what the classes are like, whether you enjoy them, what the instructor is like, etc. Okay, so you might say something like, ¿Cómo son tus clases? What are your classes like? Bueno, mi clase de matemática es difícil. Mi clase de español es súper divertida, and so on. ¿Te gusta la clase de español? You can also ask direct questions like that to see what your partner's opinion is on that. What's the instructor like? ¿Cómo es el profesor? ¿Es difícil? ¿Es amable? ¿Es antipático? Okay, second half, describe to your classmate where you complete some activities throughout the day when you're on campus and ask about where he or she completes activities on campus. Okay, so you might state where you do things and ask them if they do it too. Por ejemplo, cuando estoy en el campus, me gusta estudiar en la biblioteca Willis. ¿Y tú? ¿Dónde te gusta estudiar cuando estás en el campus? One thing I might recommend is to add a little more context to your questions to make them longer and just to provide more context. For example, instead of saying, ¿Dónde estudias? Where do you study? You might say, ¿Dónde estudias cuando estás en el campus? Okay, now we've made that sentence a lot longer and we've given it a lot more context. It's a simple technique, but if you do that with most of your sentences, you can really expand the conversation. Bueno, Chapter 3. Take turns with your classmate asking and answering questions to compare information about each other's family. Discuss information such as the size of the family, where family members are from, what they're like, how old they are, etc. Okay, so you might describe your family and then give them a chance to talk about theirs. ¿Cómo es tu familia? Or you might ask them specifically about certain aspects of the family. Por ejemplo, yo tengo muchos hermanos. ¿Y tú? ¿Tienes muchos hermanos? ¿Cómo se llama tu hermano mayor? What's your oldest brother's name? ¿Cómo es él? So you can ask about specific family members like that and really get a lot of mileage out of talking about family members. There's a lot of information you can give there. Okay, the second part is describe to your classmate where you complete some activities throughout the day. Oh, excuse me, I'm in Chapter 2. The second part of Chapter 3 is describe your classmate activities do with your family and about activities he or she does with his or her family. So one way might be to just open-endedly ask them what they do. ¿Qué haces con tu familia? What do you do with your family? Or, ¿qué actividades te gusta hacer con tu familia? What activities do you like to do with your family? Or you might state specific activities. Por ejemplo, mi familia y yo comemos la cena juntos. ¿Y tú? ¿Comes con tu familia? My family and I eat dinner together. And you? Do you eat with your family? So you can ask about specific activities as well. Okay, last chapter. Note that we're not including Chapter 5 as a topic. The reason being that we really don't have time to prepare for it for the final conversation. Take turns with your classmate asking and answering questions to compare information about your clothes, shopping habits, and preferences. Discuss information such as where you like to shop, what type of clothing you prefer, including colors, materials, etc., how much the items cost, etc. Okay, so you might, you can ask your partner, again, open-endedly, where they like to shop, what kind of clothes they like, or you could approach it more specifically. So you could say something like, if you wanted to do it more open-endedly, ¿Dónde te gusta ir de compras? Where do you like to go shopping? Or a more focused way might be, me gusta comprar en el centro comercial. ¿Y tú? ¿Te gusta comprar en el centro comercial? I like to shop at the mall. And you? Do you like to shop at the mall? Or, ¿qué tiendas prefieres? What shops do you prefer? Okay, lastly, describe your classmate what you're going to do on the weekend and ask your classmate what they're going to do. Now, for this, we're going to want to use a specific construction, which is the verb ir, plus the preposition a, plus a verb in the infinitive, the unconjugated form. And with this construction, we talk about what we're going to do. For example, after this recording of this video, voy a ir al parque con mi familia. I'm going to go to the park with my family. ¿Y tú qué vas a hacer? What are you going to do? So you can use that construction to state different activities that you're going to do in the future, and also to ask your partner about activities they're going to do. Bueno, es todo. I hope this video is helpful for you, and please feel free to contact me or your instructor if you have any questions over the final conversation. Adios.